Hi, Josh. My name's Pat Cherubini. I'm the director of Mission Classified. My son Chase has actually been emailing you, and he does some selling and prospecting for us. So he handed this off to me. I'm going to give some free consultation here. I'm just going to tell you what I think, and you can take it or leave it. If you want some more information when we're done, then we can talk about that later. But I just like to give some free information out there. I've been doing this since about 1997, so I find the more free stuff I give out there, the more business I end up getting in the long run. So if you like what you hear, we can talk some more. But right now, I'm just going to kind of nitpick through your website, look at what you're doing, what I think you're doing, and then give you some ideas what I think you can do in the future. So first off, we're looking at your website, as you can tell. Everything looks great. You have one of the better ones in the area. There are a couple things that I think that you should do. If you grab your website, and you probably already know this, shrink that up, get rid of all this other stuff here, shrink it up, and as you can see, it doesn't change. It's not mobile responsive, which means that people on the cell phone don't see it very well or very clearly. Now, that's a big deal because right now, from what we're seeing in our analytics, we're seeing about 60% of all traffic coming from a mobile web or a mobile phone or a tablet. So, 60% of the traffic is looking at your site on a phone, and it's hard to see. I did do some digging. I see that you may have had one in the past in your Google archives. But right now it's not hooked up or not working, so people are seeing a really tiny website. So that's one thing that I think you should fix. The other thing is, I've noticed you've had this since about 2011. Not much has changed. I would assume it's working very well for you, so I don't know that I'd change a whole lot other than the mobile responsiveness and then a little bit more content on the front. We like to use 1,000 to 2,000 words on the front. You only have about 300. And most of them aren't your keywords. So these down here, these are all good words, but I would add a little bit more content. Other than that, I think you're doing a great job. Obviously, somebody, I don't know if it's you or you have somebody working for you, they know what they're doing. I got this little tool here. It shows me that you're tracking for Facebook. So I don't know if you're sending remarketing ads to Facebook, but you definitely could if you wanted to because you have the Facebook pixel enabled. And then I see that you have Google tags enabled. You got analytics, Google tag manager, and a remarketing tag. So you're able to advertise and do different things with that. So I don't know if that's you doing that or if you've had somebody in the past do that, but those are all good things. Right here, I have a little analysis. This is a free tool called SEO Quake. I just run your site through it. It tells me some basic things, what it thinks is wrong with your site. The main thing for this one is the words. It's saying 419 words you have. It's not very many. A lot of those are in your footer and just your address. It counts everything. But as you can see, well drilling, you only have in there 5 times. That's not too bad. You don't need to put it in there too much. If you put it in too much, it actually does damage. So one of the things that helps you get ranked in Google, if you don't know, is content. And very simply, it's thinking about, we have people that want to rank for all kinds of things. And a lot of times, once we dig into their site, we'll find out that those keywords that they want to rank for aren't even mentioned on their site anywhere ever. And it's just kind of that thing that if you want to rank for it, you got to make sure there's a lot of information about it. So, that's the more content, the better. You have a ton of pages, a ton of posts. I think you're doing great in that aspect. So, the only other thing is your front page could use some more, but everything else on here, this is just going to give me a diagnosis. It's going to say that, you should have a site map, which isn't hard to get. Whoever did your website could probably figure that out. It's telling me you're not mobile compliant, which I just went over. A few of these things, micro format and schema, they help things. It's not going to be a bunch, but the biggest one here, this is where they say, ouch, your text, you just don't have enough text is really all that's saying. Everything else looks good. Not too much you need to worry about there. So the whole reason we do all this is I'm an SEO guy. We've kind of transferred into lead generation. But when somebody types in water well drilling Indianapolis, you show up number one, which is awesome. That's your strongest word, your strongest keyword. As you know, these are the ads, because I see you pop up there, so I know you're paying for ads. So I know you know the value of this traffic. People are actually looking for, if somebody types in water well drilling Indianapolis, pretty safe to say they need a water well drilled. So, they're going to find you on here. The more times they find you, the better. And one of the things that we do is we help promote your map listing, which you are on here, but as you can see, you're not showing up in this search. And it very well may for you. And since you're actually in Indianapolis, it's a little bit different. Google knows that I'm not there, but I'm trying to force it to show me the Indianapolis companies, which you're showing up there, which is great. And then I'm sure you know a lot of these names. But what I like to see is, or what I'm liking looking at this is the number 2 spot is a buyer's report, which is just, some random site. This is a competitor, I'm sure. Then you've got a Yellow Pages, which is a competitor's listing. You've got another Yellow Pages, another company. Then you have Home Advisor, Angie's List, Super Pages, and then here you are down the bottom. All of those Angie's List, Super Pages, those are things that you should have claimed. The more directories you have, Yellow Pages, Yelp, Foursquare, Facebook, every social site that you can have and put your name and phone number and website on is just more things that can show up in this listing. And it's actually more power for your site. So if you haven't done all that, I would go ahead and do some of those. But that's water well drilling. This is the map listing. For me, you're showing up, about 6 or 7. So that can definitely be helped. The other question is, which I don't know, I haven't spoken with you, but I'm just going to take a guess. Based on all the research I've been digging into, I see what you do. I see your reviews. To me, you look like you're the water well drilling company. Most of the other websites I looked at of your competitors are pretty bad. A lot of them, like this guy here, J&L, showing up number 1. He doesn't even have a website, or at least not connected to his Google page. That's something that we could take advantage of. Here's another one without a website. So I'm assuming if you're asking for more information that you're ready to expand or you want to grow. You look like a pretty good sized company, and you obviously have been doing some marketing and know what you're talking about. So what we do is we like to take where you are, Zionsville and Brownsburg area, and I don't know how far. I saw one map that you had a pretty good radius, which you're willing to go. We build out what we call expansion pack sites. So we would build a well drilling. We can, if this is something that you're interested in, we can build like a well drilling Plainfield website and get you to show up down there. We can get a well drilling Greenville. We kind of like to circle the area and get more and more properties that show your service and your phone number. All that's tracked. But that's kind of the plan that we go after. This is another water softener repair, Indianapolis. I assume that you do that. Most of our other drillers do that. You're not taking advantage of this, at least showing up. I know you have treatment, and that's maybe one of the things that you can help, or that you can change your language. I know in the industry we all call it water treatment, but most homeowners call it a water softener. So, you can, if you sprinkle that term softener in there, that'll help you show up in these, because you're not really showing up anywhere on this first page. And I don't know what kind of percentage of business this is, but there are a lot of searches. So, that's something that you could take advantage of is working on water softener terms. This is a tool. It's called Google AdWords. If you are the one that's running your AdWord campaigns, I'm sure you know all about this, but if you go in and into your tools section, and if you have somebody else doing this, I'll just walk through this real quick. I know I'm talking fast, but I got a lot to get through, and we can always touch base on things you don't quite understand. But I just typed in a few different terms targeted into just the Indianapolis area, and this tells me how many people are looking per month for those terms. and water softener system is the one that comes up at the highest. This also over here shows me what people are paying for ads on that term. And you can see water softener repair is almost 20 bucks a click. So seems to be some money in that. The point I try to make when I show this is, these are the 8 different things I typed in. Up here it shows a total of average monthly searches. And this is just Indiana. So there's, almost 10,000 searches based around these terms. And those numbers come from all these relevant terms down here. And some of them are relevant, some of them may not be. I don't know, Fleck Water, it's probably a brand name, maybe something you're interested in or not. But, there's a lot of water softener terms. There's a lot of drilling terms in here. But if you look down here, there's 617 different keywords that Google thinks is related to those 8 that I typed in. So the point I'm trying to make is when people look for things, they don't just type in water well drilling Indianapolis. They may type in 600 different things. Some people ask Google questions. Who is the best water well drilling company in Indianapolis? That's an actual keyword term. So that's something that you can rank for. But the point is, there are a lot of different things that you can rank for. The more content you have on your site, the better. And the reason for that is, this is called Search Engine Watch. It's a magazine with a website that does, they track Google and search engines. And this is a study they did a few years ago. It's a little bit old, but they tested how many people look at a page and click on which part of it. And basically, if you're ranked organically, which again is, this first one after the ad, after the map, that, almost 53% of people click on that first link. And in total, only 15% are clicking on the ads. So, it's all very targeted. The more places you can be, the better. But if you're not in the top 5 of the first page, you're getting very, very little traffic, 1%. So that's just something we like to show. We always joke about saying, if anybody wanted to hide a dead body, the best place is hide it on the second page of Google, because nobody will ever look there. Doing research, I found out, that you've had this since 2011, and, I dug into the archives, and it hasn't really changed a lot, which, like I said, is not a big deal if it's working for you. It can always be updated a little bit. And then this is another free tool called SEMrush, and I typed in your web address, and it kind of gives me some idea of what's going on in the back end. The other thing that Google likes is, when you're talking ranking for Google, it's content. Mobile responsive is a big deal now, and then links coming back to it from other sites. Those right now are some of the biggest things that you can have. You need to have your social ring, your Facebook, which I know you have some of those. That's all great. But the links going back to your site from other sites is probably 70% of the power of ranking your site. And what I'm seeing is you only have eight backlinks. So it doesn't seem like you've had SEO done before. So that's not a bad thing. You're ranking for some really good terms really well. I think if you added SEO to it, that it would really start to bring everything else up. This is, let me pause here for a second. I found it here. This is a graph of your organic traffic. And according to this tool, which isn't 100% because they don't have all access, it's just a guess, but they're estimating that you're getting about $245 a month worth of traffic, which to them says that you could buy that from AdWords for $245. So really all you're getting is, this line here is the 100 people per month. And you can see if I go to all time, the ups and downs, looks like for a while you didn't have much traffic at all. And then from, really from September 2 years ago, you've been on an upward trend, which was great. But then now you're coming back down again. And if you look at all these little dots or diamonds, you can see April of this year was the mobile friendly boost. And what that is saying is that if your site's not mobile friendly, then there's a better chance, and it's not saying never, but if somebody's on a mobile phone, they're not going to Google won't show you that site because it's not mobile, because it's hard to see. And you can see from that time when they did the mobile update, your traffic has been down a little bit. That could be part of it. I'm not sure what your big upswing was here, but ever since that update in May, your traffic's been on a downward trend. This month, or actually since August, really in September, there were 3 big updates. So it was, for me in the SEO game, it's been a crazy month. There were 3 big updates, but it seems you're still ranking number 1, so those aren't a problem for you. But this just shows different things that you rank for. A lot of the things you rank for are your name, which really doesn't have anything to do about SEO. If people already know you, that's great. Well Drilling Indiana, you seem to rank at number 3. Well Cleaning Services is 3, and just all free information you can get. You can look at it too at semrush.com. Next thing I do is I go and look at your speed. This is a Google tool called Page Speed Tools Insights. Just type it in, and this is something we already know. If you look over here, that's probably what it looks like on most phones. And what we push here is a call to action. What I like to see on my clients on their phone, on their mobile website, right off the bat is a big phone number that you can click on and call immediately. If you're looking here, and I know where your phone number is, but if I'm looking here and trying to find it, I couldn't even tell you where to look for your phone number. That's something that your web guy can do, and throw up a big phone number, get that thing mobile optimized. It's saying 64 out of 100, that you need some stuff fixed. The speed on your desktop is a 79. There's just some things that need fixed. That's not that bad. It's not that big a deal. Most of it's probably the fact that it's a 5-year-old site, and you could probably use a little bit of updates, but that's really not that big a deal other than the mobile part. This is called MozLocal, MOZ.com, and I typed in your information, and this is your name, address, and phone number, and you may hear it called NAP. In my SEO circles, the NAP is a citation of your name, address, and phone number. The more places that cite your name, address, and phone number, the better. That's what helps you show in the maps. So, there are hundreds of places you can get your name, address, and phone number out on sites. You should probably do that. This just gives me a graph. There's a lot of them that are inconsistent. If you click on it here, when you do your name, address, and phone number, you should try to make sure it's the exact same all the time. Like down here, you say C&J Well Drilling Pump Service Water Softeners. Google sometimes sees that as a different company than C&J Well Company. And, you look at a couple different ones. I know you've had a different phone number before. I don't know if that was a tracking number with Yellow Pages. It's probably Yellow Pages like to use tracking numbers, but that's something that you can do. There's some duplicates. This is just something that will help you get ranked better in those maps, because when people do a search and you're showing up in the map, you're much more likely to get that call. So that's another thing that you can look at. Moz.com also has a site explorer. This is, to me, where the power of ranking a site comes from. And again, I typed in your website address. This shows me these domain authority and page authority. It's just a number that they give, 1 to 100. Google and Facebook are 100 page authority and domain authority. Your domain authority is a 14. It's a little bit low considering how old your site is and how much content you have. All this comes from other sites linking to you. And this one says that you have 44 links coming from 10 domain names. It's just not that many, because if you see down here, all your links are coming from bb.org. It's a great link, but really they only count it once, because it's the same link in a different. It's just showing it over and over again on different pages. Yellow Pages, that's a citation link. That's probably a blog post. That may be something that an SEO did for you or not. But getting links is not a bad link. This is probably whatever the AOPA is. It's probably a good link. Then down here, I see some other 301 redirects, C&J Water Well Drilling and C&J Well and Pumps. Probably old domains or old sites you used to have that are now just forwarded to your main site. Not really getting any power from that. So what I see is you could use some SEO to get some good links pointing back to you to power you up. I can tell you're not having any SEO done because there's nothing, there are no new links. Nothing's been created lately. The domains here, this shows the domains that link from you. You've got Blogspot, Yellow Pages, AOPA, Plumbing Quotes Now. Just not a lot. You should have quite a few places linking to you. Your anchor text, brand name, email or website address, your name, website, really don't have any keyword links. To me, that tells me you're wide open for SEO. We could do some water well drilling links on some really strong sites and get you ranked for those a lot better. It seems to be gone now. I did some comparative metrics to your competitors, and Moss was the one that was the strongest one. I don't know if you know them. I'm sure you do. But they were the ones that showed up the strongest for their, and they don't show up very much anywhere else. But as far as their metrics, they seem to be pretty strong, but not really a big deal. So that's really all you need to know about that. I ran a report here in my rank tracking software. Just typed in a bunch of key terms with Indianapolis. So water well drilling Indianapolis, and you can see you show up number one for quite a few, Brownsville, Carmel, Plainfield, and Brownsburg. I think you have one spot in Brownsburg. And then I added a bunch of cities as if you were interested in going for the expansion plan and covering more and more cities in the outlying areas, not just Indianapolis. Obviously, most of the wells are outside of the city anyhow, but I just wanted to show you, and I think this shows it pretty well. I just grabbed, I don't know, it was like 8 or 10 different cities, the larger suburbs around the area. I don't know how far out you guys go, but as you can see, you rank pretty well. This is your rank here. You rank 2 in water well drilling. Zionsville, you're number 2. Water well company, Noblesville, Indiana, you're number 3. But as you go down here, I put in a bunch. There's some water softener repair, Indianapolis. You're number 45. That's the 5th page. Water softener installation, Anderson. 5th page. Water softener repair, and these are all the water softener. I know you're not. It doesn't seem that you're going for those, but even water well repair, Martinsville, you're 24th. That's the 3rd page. Shelbyville, 3rd page. Greenwood, 3rd page. So there's a lot of room for improvement for you, and some of these can be on your own site and some of these can be on the expansion sites that we build, just depending on what you're interested in doing, how big you want to get. That's really all I have. This is the page that we sent you. These are the calls that we send our other guy. If you're interested in learning a little bit more and getting some pricing, just give me some more information. Fill out the thing at the bottom here, or just give me some more information. Trying to let me know what you're looking to do, how far you want to go, whether you're interested in the water softener niche or not. And then I can get a proposal for you, let you know what we can do and when we can start. We can start immediately. You're the only one from Indianapolis that contacted us back. So right now, you look like you're the one. Again, like I said before, I want to commend you on the work you've done. You're doing basically everything right. You just need a little bit more power to that website, and I think you can get a lot more coverage on the outlying areas. We like to work with the most professional organization. This is something that my wife and I do. And now my son's helping us. Background on us is we do website design and lead generation SEO. We've been doing it since 1998. So, we were about 25 years old when we started. It's all I've ever done. It's all my wife has done. We are a home-based business that we are growing into, a lot more niches. Water well drilling is one of our favorite niches because we've got, our guy that's close to us that, we're just doing some good things for him, and he loves us. So, we'd love to work with you, get to know you. Let me know if you want to talk. Let me know if you want a proposal, and we can see what we can do. And hopefully I didn't ramble on too long and blow your mind, but I just like to let you know that that's what we do. This is what we can do. And if you think that we know what we're talking about and you want to do something, by all means, get back to us. And if you want to just take what I've given you and hand off to your web guy or whoever it is, if it may be you, I don't know, run with it, and hopefully it helps you out. So that's all I have for today. Again, my name is Pat Cherubini. I'm the director of Mission Classified, and hope to hear from you soon. Thanks, Josh.